everybody. Dr. Bulow here. We are live on Facebook and Instagram. We've got Christmas motifs. I'm doing this for Instagram and I'm doing this for Facebook, so you can see my Christmas tree. Dr. Bulow here. The UC vlog, last one of the year. It is December 13th, and I'm not doing these again for the rest of the year on a Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. But for those that are joining me today, cheers. I don't always drink coffee, out of a mug with my face on it, but when I do, it's a Mile High mug. So shout out to Danny Knowles and the Mile High crew, one of the best annual conferences in chiropractic. And no, I have not been invited to speak to 2023. Why? I don't know, but this is a free plug for Mile High. So give Danny a shout out. Tell him he needs to bring me back. Check out that photo. Look at that mug on that mug. It's not bad. It's not bad. All right, let's get to it. Today, we are going to talk about clinic location. So now I'm going to move my cell phone over my laptop so I'm not staring back and forth. I'd rather just kind of stare up and down. I don't know. So if you feel like you're being profiled by me, it's not really that. Okay, done with the jokes. Today, we're going to go over clinic location. So someone asked recently, where should we set our clinic up? They're looking at setting up their clinic and graduating soon. So let's talk about that. There are a few interesting things to discuss when we talk about clinic location. We're going to get to price, and that's probably one of the most important factors, because if you're going into business, you really need to make sure your overhead is as low as possible, but you also don't want to be practicing out of a cardboard box in the ghetto. So let's start on the other side, and let's remind ourselves about brand. Branding is something that was never really taught to me in school. It's an interesting concept of brand. You know, brand is an all-encompassing idea. It's like the feel, you know what I mean? Like what attracts people to you and your product and service over others, and what makes them stay. And a lot of that has to do with who you are, like as an individual, what makes you unique, but it also has to do with your potential clients, your patients, and who they are, and what they value as individual human beings. If you want a great book on brand, here's a resource for you. It's called Primal Branding. Shout out to Darren White. He gave me that one years and years ago. And I will tell you, there's not many books, at least not that I recall, on branding and naming your clinic and doing all these things. But that book was a really great, all-encompassing book. So as an upper cervical chiropractor, remember this is the UC vlog, so this is going to be in the context of upper cervical. If we were talking to a full spine chiropractic clinic or a pediatric chiropractic clinic or an automobile accident PI clinic, everything I'm about to tell you may be totally different, but this is for the aspiring future upper cervical chiropractor to consider their clinic locations, because our brand in upper cervical is different than the brand of like a pediatric clinic or a wellness nutritional clinic or a PI automobile clinic. You know what I mean? A lot of what we do in upper cervical is done with I kind of want to say class, you know, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way to anyone else who does anything else, but I mean most people who come to an upper cervical clinic have been everywhere. They've been to the standard clinic, they've been to the medical clinic, they've been to the neurologist, they've been to PT, they've been kind of everywhere. And because upper cervical is so unique, it's sort of like when you type in chiropractor or you ask for a chiropractic referral, there's 1,000,001 chiropractors, so we're usually not the first chiropractic experience that they get to. Maybe they are, but for most people, we're not. And there needs to be, and I say that to say, we need to set ourselves up a little bit differently, because they're looking for different. If they were looking for the same, they wouldn't be coming to you. They can get the same everywhere else. If they're looking for in-network, they can get that everywhere else. They're looking for different, they're looking for, dare I say, special, dare I say, classy, because you are charging a little bit more. You are charging direct, you are charging cash. So as a result of that, I feel that the clinic needs to be in a location that is classy, that is quality. Now, it doesn't have to be. We'll get to that at the end when we talk about overhead. But what I'm saying is preferentially, I'd prefer that the location be somewhere in like a medical suite where there are other quality healthcare providers and other quality businesses in the vicinity. So as they're pulling into the town, as they're pulling into the strip mall, which I actually would not prefer a strip mall, but as they're pulling into the business park, the business complex, whatever it is, there are other quality brands, and you are one of many in this area. To me, that makes a lot of sense. We were in a strip mall. So let's talk about the strip mall thing. You don't really need to be in a commercial strip mall area, right? The fees for that are higher, right? You know, the landlords are going to charge a mint for McDonald's to come in, although McDonald's is a bad example, they own their buildings, but for McDonald's to come in and lease space, you know what I mean? Or Walmart or whatever. Or like Walmart is going to charge a mint for Subway to have square footage in the Walmart, you know what I mean? They're going to pay a lot of money because there's a lot of traffic running through there. And you are a destination business. You're not really a retail business. It's not like people are walking by and they're like, I think I need to have my spine checked. You know what I mean? Like normally the people that are walking into the chiropractic clinic because they just saw their sign are people that are just want the quick fix. And they're not really wanting to or ready to invest in actually correcting and stabilizing their spine over time. There are exceptions, but that's just a general rule. So why pay the high per square foot fee to have retail when you don't really need retail? What you need is a place that has valuable surroundings, but more important than retail is it's got to be accessible and easy to describe. So for those joining in, we're talking about clinic location choice. So you want your location to be, if you think about it, you're going to be attracting patients from an hour radius, at least an hour radius. So you want it to be easy for them to commute to you, right? So think about how many exits they have to get off of, how many traffic lights they have to go through, you know, how much backwoods shenanigans when the weather sucks if you're in the snow belt, like that kind of stuff. Is it easy to get to, and is it easy to describe? You know what I mean? Like we are in Cranberry on the northern end next to the Rowan Tower on Rowan Road. Easy to describe. We're in the Rowan Tower because everybody knows where the Rowan Tower is because it's the only 6-story building in all of Cranberry Township. And if they don't, we say, well, it's right across the street from Rowan Elementary School because everyone knows where the school is. So if you can find a facility that is easy to describe, easy to get to, and has brand surrounding it, meaning some nice surroundings. So as an example, hi Christina, say hi babe, you're in the background. So let's talk about the building for a moment because I said I'd come back to it. We were in retail in the beginning and we were paying, I can't remember, how much? $4,000, $5,000 a month, something like that. And we had 3,000 square feet, Taj Mahal clinic. It was in a retail strip mall with a pool place on one side, a swimming pool facility on one side, and like a furniture store on the other. And we moved 6 years ago, and we moved to the Rowan Tower, which is this very professional building, you know, marble, granite, black on the outside, big parking lot, like it's a Class A medical building. And we moved to it and we reduced our square footage from 3,000 down to about 1,000 square feet. 1,000 square feet. And we're on the 4th floor. We have windows all around that can see for a couple miles. And we saved about $2,000 a month in overhead. But the sentiment from our patients when we went from the one facility, 3,000 square foot strip mall, into the professional building, when they came in, they said, Doc, congratulations. You're moving up in the world. This is awesome. Right? So we were saving $2,000. We reduced our size, but the brand and the feel was, wow, this is so much nicer. It's not about the size. It's not about the square foot. It's about how does it feel. Does it feel nice? Does it feel like quality? If your brand is quality, right? And for us it is. And yeah, we're saving $2,000 a month, which brings me to my last point, which is the overhead and the cost. If you're going into business for yourself, you need to consider the cost. Like I just mentioned, it's not about the size of your clinic. You don't need some big giant space. I've been in practice for almost 15 years, and my clinic is 970 square feet, right? That's a small clinic. That's a tight clinic. But I do that for a reason. I don't need the massive space. We are expanding. We will be moving. But for the last 7 years, I haven't needed the space. And my patients don't need the space. They don't need that. What they need is quality care in a quality environment that's easy to get to, easy to give directions to. And then I'll give it a couple other examples. My buddy Joey Miles, who I mentioned a lot of, he's a good friend and mentor. Joey had a clinic for a long time that was next to, I think it was like a cigarette store and maybe like a laundromat. It was a really rough location, but it was in a small country town. He's in Hickory, North Carolina, like no big deal. But he was in kind of the not so nice area of town, and he was killing it. He was killing it. So my point is, when I describe the ideal sort of scenario, don't forget, like in the beginning, it's more about looking at your business plan, what you can afford, what do you need, where is it located, and then you're going to drive the success of your business regardless. It's just nicer if you can find locations that have that brand, that have that destination, like easy to describe, but are in a nice area. You don't have to be in the strip mall next to the Walmart. You really don't have to do that. In today's day and age with the internet and everything else, you can get your brand out there in Facebook groups and in social media interactions to where people will say, oh yeah, I saw you come across my news feed. And that's just as valuable as when someone's driving and they're like, oh, I saw your sign. Like it used to be that having that retail main street frontage was valuable because people would drive by and see your sign. Nowadays, people are driving by metaphorically on their social feeds, so you can get that brand that way. And then the location just needs to be easy to describe. So instead of being next to Walmart, be behind the Walmart. Like, who cares? You're going to be telling them we're located behind the Walmart in the blah, blah, blah plaza, or in the whatever building, or on such and such street right next to the school, that sort of thing. But yeah, keep your overhead low, be conscious, make sure that you can be profitable. Perhaps in the future we'll talk about actually like negotiations in terms of leases and things like that. But that's a whole other conversation. I really look forward to 2023. I hope that you'll join me in 2023. I hope you'll join Christina and I. We do have a webinar coming up on systems for success. We talked a lot about mindset in December, and the first Friday in January, I believe it's January 6th, we're going to be talking about systems. So how do we plan for and consistently deliver the tasks that yield success in our personal and professional lives? So you can register for that. The link is in the Instagram bio. I'm going to shut it down for today. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this. We will see you in 2023. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Happy New Year. And we'll see you guys soon.